Howdy, folks. Howdy. One day I'm going to have a real live audience out there with real clapping and whistling and stuff like that. I can't wait. But until then, I'm Black Dragon, and welcome to another edition of Black Dragon Biker News Network, Biker News you can trust. And as always, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in from wherever it is in the world that you happen to be. Listen, if you're just now tuning in, we do motorcycle club related news, opinions, views, attitudes, lifestyle, travel, culture, and of course, motorcycle club protocol. We're, biker club folks. And we'd like for you to like, follow, and subscribe. You can get us on all of our platforms, Black Dragon Biker TV on TikTok, Instagram, Black Dragon Biker TV on YouTube, Black Dragon Biker on Facebook. The Dragon's Lair Motorcycle Chaos is our online podcast, wherever you get your podcasting. The Dragon's Lair Motorcycle Chaos Daily is this show on a podcast that you can download. And of course, bikerliberty.com is our online news magazine. It's our newspaper. So like, share, follow, and subscribe. And we absolutely would love to have you. So listen, man, the Pagans have been going through hell. They've it's been tough on them lately. And they could use some breaks. So we just covered them a couple days ago. Shootout they had, and unfortunately lost a brother. These things are tough. Motorcycle life can be tough. Being in this lifestyle can be tough, bro. And every now and then you get a damn break. And we covered this story. We've been covering this story. And just imagine that a prosecutor makes a mistake in law. Maybe they don't do the right thing. Maybe they even break the law. Maybe they even skirt the law. Maybe they just didn't get it right. And instead of saying, we screwed the pooch on this one, we didn't do it right, we messed up. Instead of doing that, they double down. Like, let's just say you're driving, you ride your motorcycle, and they pull you over in a legal search and seizure, and they find something on you, whatever the case may be, but they got it illegally. Like, it's against the rules. We don't do business like that. You're not allowed to just pull me over and search my motorcycle just because you want to. And then they say, well, no, hell no. We want to use that information anyway. Like, there are rules in this country that law enforcement's supposed to follow. If law enforcement gets as dirty as the criminals that they're trying to go after, if they get as ruthless as that, then don't they become lawbreakers themselves to enforce the laws that they're supposed to be enforcing? The idea of the fairness of enforcing the law, like it's you're not supposed to, as a police officer, pay for and sleep with a prostitute, then to arrest her for prostitution. That ain't right, is it? Like to participate in the gambling game and then arrest somebody for gambling is not thought to be right. To smoke dope and then arrest somebody for dope smoking ain't right. I had to smoke dope with you to get you to commit the crime. But what about the crimes you committed? And that's why this guy who wrote this book, Writing with Evil, about the pagans, and he keeps on and on in this book with how horrible they were. But I was contacted by a pagan who wrote specifically about this guy. And one of the things that he wrote was, Black Dragon, do your research. And I want him to know that I'm doing that research. He happens to be one of the people that had charges put on him. And he wrote a long message. And I want him to know I got that message. I saw that message, and I'm gonna do I'm doing exactly what you called on me to do. He said specifically, you have a platform, and I want, and because you have this platform, people believe what you say. I want you to do your research. And then he gave me some specific things in what he wrote. And so I have my people doing that. We're doing that. Doing like you asked. Because it's important that in order for law enforcement to be right, they got to follow the rules. You don't get to come into the outlaw motorcycle club and do all these things and then arrest them, and you were doing the same thing. Or even you were doing more. For instance, is it okay to come in the club and then go start a fight with somebody and then have them arrested but you're the cop, is that entrapment? Because you started all that. When I was in the Navy, you guys are like, oh hell, another effing Navy story. Come on. Like, how long were you in there? Can we do anything without another Navy story? Like, bro, you couldn't have even been in that long like that. Everything's a damn Navy story. But for me, it is. When I was in the Navy, we had this thing called the Personnel Reliability Program, the PRP. I've spoken about this before, where if you were going to be involved with nuclear weapons, and we had the nuclear propulsion people, those were called nukes. They were the aft nukes. And then you had the forward nukes. That was me, the guys who dealt with the nuclear weapons. My job was to target and shoot stuff. I was a nuclear weapons shooter. Fire control. We didn't put out fires. We started them. We would burn down your whole submarine or your entire city effing with us. All right? Don't even twist it up. We directed the control of the fire stick coming out the submarine in the form of missiles or torpedoes or countermeasures or whatever. That's what we did. And so in order to get this nuclear weapons access, you had to have this top secret security clearance and blah 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 blah, and you had to belong to the Personnel Reliability Program. And one of the things was your conduct, your code of conduct. Like, for instance, when I was in the Navy, in the submarine Navy, I don't know about the rest of the navies. I wasn't in those. I wasn't a CB or I wasn't on a skimmer. I wasn't a skimmer puke target. I wasn't a, punk ass Airedale with brown shoe Navy Airedale cry baby, fly cry baby. I wasn't, an Airedale. I wasn't, none of those things. So I don't know how their Navy was. I wasn't, in the Army. I don't know how those ground pounder foxhole dwellers, two men go in a foxhole, a couple come out. I don't know what their life was. But in the submarine Navy, if you got a DUI, you were out. You were out. Not only were you out of the PRP program, not only were you put off submarines, they put your ass out of the Navy. One DUI. There was an expectation of excellence. We were called the best of the best. And you better be that. One toke of a joint, if they found even a minute trace of cannabis in your system, you were out. You were out of the Navy. And when I first came in, I believe there was a policy where you could have one mistake and then go to some kind of counseling or something. But I don't think that was ever in the submarine Navy. I think in the submarine Navy, when they were counseling guys, skimmer pukes and, the other Navy of the skimmers, or, the gator boat Navy and those guys. I mean, I love them all. I mean, I don't think I think I'm better than them. They're part of the Navy too. And I mean, I love the Army guys. They marched around the Marines, first to try, first to die. I loved all those guys a little bit, some, but not as much as I love my submarine brothers. And one trace of cocaine in your system, you were gone. GOWN, gone. And the way that we took your analysis tests is, in the submarine Navy, they were just sprung up on you. Like, you just come to work one day and chief would be like, "Hey man, before you go home today, stop by and piss for the doc." The pecker checker, we called him. And you guys, you don't know anything about this. The disrespect, man. There's this disrespect, like, you can cheat on your analysis in the civilian world. You could walk in there and use a bag of somebody else's urine or something like that. In the Navy, you couldn't do that because the pecker checker would stand and watch your penile instrument. He'll watch you pull it out of your pants. He's sitting there like, "All right, man, come on. Go ahead, man. I don't have all day here. Could you please hurry?" You're like, "Dude, can I get a little..." He's looking all around. "Hey, man, don't turn your back to me. Let me see what you got going on. All right, bro? There's a chain of custody here. I've got to watch the penis let go of the yellow substance into the penile yellow substance collector. Then you put the top on it. He puts the tape on it. You sign, he signs, he takes custody." Ain't none of this civilian. This is how they made it in the Navy. They knew who had the chain of custody, and then he would have to take it and put it in a box and sign for it, and it could never leave his custody until it went into the. So you couldn't come back like, "Hey man, y'all Y'all put that in my system, bro. That didn't come from me. It was, and that's how it was done. There was an expectation. No, there was a demand that we handle business the right way. Vernon Powell, aka Bolo, one of my submarine brothers, he said, I remember a chief that had 19 years in the Navy. 19 years. So you're 1 year from retirement. Pop positive on a urinalysis. Pop positive means they found him positive for some substance. He was crying topside. Topside is the top of the submarine. He was topside crying like a baby, mostly because he knew he had thrown away a 19 years for a night out with drugs. Gone, bro. How do they know what drugs you used? Did it taste different? I don't know how they knew that. All I know is that you would piss into this jar. They'd fill that jar up and it would be gone. And if you never heard from them again, life was good. And if you did hear from them again, you had a problem. People say, Black Dragon, you never got high? Bro, I was in the PRP program. Hell no. They wasn't playing. They wasn't a whistling Dixie with your behind. What I'm trying to say is there was an expectation and there was a code and we lived by. There was no gray matter. We were the cats handling your nuclear weapons. We were the guys who were going to shoot them if you had any problems, if your checkbook wasn't handled correctly, if you had too many outstanding debts, if your beacon score wasn't right, if you couldn't write checks without bouncing them all over town. Any of these little small things that people do would get your ass thrown out of the nuclear weapons or even the nuclear propulsion. You'd be tossed. Okay, I tell you what, man, you can go and be a signalman on an airplane and you can bring airplane. You can go in an aircraft carrier and bring airplanes in with them flags, but you can't do this. We don't play that. I can remember the way that we handled top secret materials. That's why when you hear about Hillary Clinton deciding that she's going to do whatever the hell she wants with her mail server, I had folks lose their entire careers over mishandling of top secret information. Hey, listen, we had a top secret building that you had to have a top secret security clearance to get into. You walked past the quarterdeck where you got checked and you had to sign in. So we got a top secret building, top secret security building, top secret security classifications of the people. You get checked into the building. You go to the top secret security room. You have to use the cipher lock to get into the room. And in the top secret security building, past the top secret security guards, in the top secret security room with the top secret security cipher lock is some top secret security safes. There was a guy who left that safe open and they took his whole career. Dude, who's gonna see the safe that doesn't have a top secret security clearance? Bro, you had to be checked from your mama's womb just to be even in the room. But dude, you left that safe open in the top secret security room in the top secret security building past the top secret security guards where no one would ever see that damn thing ever, period. And we're fixing to bust your ass. This was the level. And if you don't think there was pressure on everything, man. You were like, did I leave that safe open? You like you had a checklist in your, okay, make sure, God, whatever you do, don't leave the folder open inside the safe. You get written up for that. This was the level that I had to operate under. I couldn't get high. I couldn't have a bad day where I had a little too much to drink and I got pulled over by the police. That would be the end of my naval career. So I have a low tolerance, as do most of my submarine brothers. We have a low, infinitesimally low, a microbically low, microscopically low, plankton level manure low tolerance for bullshit. Max says, Black Dragon, we need to get you to burn one this morning and calm down. Oh, no, if you guys saw me burn one, you'd probably see me lose my mind, start giggling, and fall all over the place. I have a low tolerance for bullshit. When I see a presidential candidate or something mishandle top secret security or leak something, bro, do you know they would come pick me up and put me in prison if I were to leak something? They didn't play that. So I get blown all out of proportion when I hear that you mishandled top secret information or something like that, or you couldn't do your job. So for me, rules. Why do you always talk about protocol? Why'd you write these books about protocol? To me, rules are just important. They're like easy. We spent a lifetime following rules. We had rules for, like, for instance, every morning at, I believe it was 8 o'clock. It's a long time ago. Every morning at 8 o'clock, the colors had to fly, bro. You had all the submarines out, and you had the submarine tender, and the admiral was up there, and some asshole was looking. God help you if you weren't up there right on time for colors. I know all about colors. I've dealt with colors all my life, long before I was in a motorcycle club. You had to run up there with those colors and run them up to the top of the flagpole. And I mean, you run the colors up fast. Tie that sucker off, step 2 steps back, and pop that salute, bro. And stand at attention until the Star Spangled Banner was done. And then you would snap down, do an about face, and march off smartly. You would come to smartly and march off smartly. So when you don't follow the rules, I'm pissed at you. I'm like, bro, that wasn't hard. And that's what happened in this Pagans case. They didn't follow the damn rules. And so you don't follow the rules, and then you want to fight about that. You want to go to court and fight about the rules you didn't follow, why you should be able to use your illegally gotten evidence against somebody when you didn't follow the damn rules. How do you expect people to abide by your rules if you don't let them know what the rules are? Well, the Navy didn't have a problem letting you know what the rules were at all. They had everything written down, bro, for you to see. They indoctrinated you in those rules. You absolutely knew the rules, just like these prosecutors actually knew the rules. Black Dragon Biker TV, civilians do not have the same standards and discipline as those of us in the military. They are sloppy and disorganized. I'm not expecting prosecutors with Juris Doctorate degrees. You know, a law degree is a doctorate. That you could say doctor lawyer. They're up. They should be knowing what the hell's going on. So in Providence, Rhode Island, the Supreme Court on Thursday, the Supreme Court, they took this to the Rhode Island Supreme Court. The Supreme Court had to rule on this silliness. The Rhode Island, so key evidence in the biker, and the title is Key Evidence in Biker Gang Case Will Be Tossed. Rhode Island Supreme Court rules. So the Rhode Island Supreme Court on Thursday dealt a major blow to a criminal case against members of what they call two biker gangs, agreeing with a lower case that key evidence must be suppressed after authorizations for wiretaps were improperly approved. So your wiretaps were improper. You were told they were improper, and you doubled down on that BS and took it all the way to the Supreme Court. Crazy. Crazy. But it is what happens. The case involves Derek Tuna McGuire, who police identified as the head of the Pagans motorcycle club, we say, along with dozens of other defendants that are together facing hundreds of drug and gun counts. Attorney General Peter Naranas. Attorney General Peter Naranas, will mispronounce his name like that, unfortunately. His office will now reevaluate the cases. They have to reevaluate the cases in light of the ruling, spokesperson Blake Collins said. So now that the Supreme Court has said you got to throw that stuff out, now they have to reevaluate what they can or cannot do. Today's decision in this important case for public safety is a disappointment to this office, Collins said. Why would it be a disappointment if y'all didn't do things the right way? You should actually say today's decision reinforces the high standards that have been set by the American jurisprudence system, upholding our high standards and morals. Maybe we screwed up and collected our so-called information the wrong way, and we are so glad that the court second guessed us and went around what we did. That it shows that democracy works in our land of that. That's what they should have said. Not this is a disappointment. At issue in this case is, and you guys might remember this, we covered this, and we didn't know how it was going to turn out, but we covered it. At an issue, this is a small, minor clerical procedure, one could think, but I'm glad the Supreme Court didn't think that. At issue in the case is who signs off on the paperwork that allows investigators to secretly listen in to phone conversations. They have decided that's got to be a certain level of person for the reasons that we're going to be looking at here. But they want it to be very clear that the person that signs off on this is very specified. So by law, only the presiding justice of the Superior Court. So this is a person that we would expect to have a lot of experience in law, a lot of experience in the kind of law that has to do with signing off wiretaps. And so they've put this job squarely on only the presiding justice of the Superior Court. That's the only person authorized. That's the only person authorized to approve a wiretap. Currently, over there in Rhode Island, that person is Alice Gibney, or the senior associate justice, if the presiding justice can't do so. So they got two people. They got Alice Gibney or the senior associate justice, if she can't do it. So Gibney did okay the original wiretap request from prosecutors, according to the court documents, but later she went on medical leave. She designated the task signing off on further wiretap requests to an associate justice, Melanie Wilk Thunberg, who was just an associate justice, obviously, and not a senior associate justice as required by law. The senior associate justice is Robert Kraus. McGuire and his co-defendants subsequently asked the court to suppress evidence obtained via the intercepted phone calls, arguing the wiretaps were signed by someone unauthorized to do so. Now, you know your attorney is on his SHIT. If he found that, that man needs a raise. That man, everybody needs that attorney, whoever the hell he is. A Superior Court judge ruled in McGuire's favor in 2019. So the attorney was on this. I'm on it, doggone it. That's what you pay me for. He found that. He complained about it, and a Superior Court judge said, "You're right, bro. We can't do that." But the AG, the Attorney General's office, appealed the case to the Supreme Court. We're going to take this ill-gotten information and use it against you in a court of law anyway and put you in prison forever if we can. I just think it's unfair. The justices acknowledge that a different state law allows the proceeding judge to designate an associate justice to perform the duties during an absence, which is what Gibney did when she designated the job to Thunberg. So in the one lawyer's lawyering where he decides, he finds out there's a law that says you can't do that, the attorney general found a law that says you can. So they had two competing laws here. So I guess it was up to the Supreme Court to decide. They acknowledge that a different state law allows the proceeding justice to designate an associate judge to perform the duties. And that's what Gibney did. But that law doesn't supersede the wiretap statute, the Supreme Court concluded. And I think they rightfully concluded that, which narrowly defines who can sign off on such orders. Why? Why is that? Why? And they say it right here. We continue to afford greater protection against intercepted wire, electronic, and oral communications. Why? Because these seizures are more intrusive on personal privacy than a typical search warrant. That's why. Because they recognize that our personal communications, wire, electronic, and oral, are the most personal, private things we have. The only other thing that's more private is thoughts. And if you remember the movie The Minority Report, when it gets down to they can read your thoughts, man, I wonder what protections we'll have against warrants against our thoughts. But it's coming. That's why you think these people are crazy that wear these tinfoil hats, but they're not crazy. They're not. As a matter of fact, I have my tinfoil hat right over there. Just in case. So, anyway, Associate Justice Maureen McKenna Goldberg wrote in the High Court's opinion that we continue to afford greater protection against intercepted wire, electronic, and oral communications because these seizures are the most intrusive on personal privacy are more intrusive on personal privacy than the typical search warrant. Despite the issues with the authorization, the Attorney General's office unsuccessfully argued the evidence obtained as a result of the wiretaps should be allowed to be introduced at trial. So they fought hard for it, but despite the issues, they were unsuccessful. The Supreme Court justices said they had no doubt that both the Attorney General and the lower court justices acted in good faith. They don't think they were out to just get the guys and BS them, but they said there simply was no statutory authority to designate an associate justice other than the senior associate justice to administer the orders arising from the wiretap investigation. So, bros, you got to throw that one in the trash. McGuire's criminal case is still awaiting trial. He's currently being held without bail after violating the terms of his previous release. It's unclear how much of the evidence in this case will now be tossed. but it's going to be tossed for a lot of people, perhaps. In 2017, prosecutors seeking court authorization for a wiretap followed the direction of the Superior Court to the letter regarding which Superior Court justice they should seek approval from, Collins said. They did so in good faith and could take no other path in seeking such authorization. That said, we respect the court's decision and we will reevaluate the cases in light of it. So at this point, they've got a lot of reckoning to do, and the Pagans got to win in court. Derek Warrington said Weird Al Yankovic, isn't it? Weird Al Yankovic told us about this in a song years ago about that aluminum foil. He wasn't messing around. So, maybe good news for that guy. Maybe they don't have anything but the wiretaps, and maybe he gets to walk on that. We'll see what happens. But we are watching. So, hey, man. Hey. Very interesting news this morning. This guy won, and you should win. As I say, I believe in the rules. I believe in the rules of law. I believe that if you're supposed to have the signature of the senior presiding associate justice, a secondary associate justice won't work. They made that law for a reason, and we shouldn't be looking for loopholes to get around it. Build your case strong and build it the right way. Donna Ryder says, why don't you have memberships available? I probably should get off my butt and turn that on, huh? I gotta make emojis. That's why, to be honest with you. I gotta make emojis, and I just haven't taken the time to make the very cool emojis that are needed for my channel. I want you guys to have like cool emojis. Does anybody know how to make emojis? I could use a little help. Tia says, oh, he's looking good and he's talking right. He's the type that might change my life. You talking about you seeing somebody, girl? Don't get get nothing started out here on my show. Anyway, I'm wearing the shirt Tia made me for my book, The President's Bible. You have to wear the shirts and ties you get to show that you're thankful to have them, and people that want to see you in them. I love seeing Rhode Island in the news, and not for something embarrassing. Rep 401. Outstanding. So listen, man, listen. I really did get some cool response for my idea about restarting my prepper channel. That's exciting. I heard from a guy that said that I'm thinking that he's saying that he might help out with the channel. And this guy is like bad to the bone. Where is this guy? He sent me some information. This guy's everything. He's everything. He's done it all. Like, I bet he's even killed 100 people. And he knows all about guns and everything. He wrote to me, and he said he would help. I think that's what he said. I sent a message back. If you promise to help, we're going to do this thing. Man, where is that guy? Anyway, guys, I think we're really close. And then I had a bunch of people go and subscribe to Think Tactical yesterday in support of us doing the Think Tactical channel. Like, I'm like so super close to doing this. Okay, so here it is right here. So he said, man, I'm definitely your go-to I'm definitely your go-to for tactical stuff. 18-year paratrooper, NRA pistol rifle instructor, Army foreign weapons instructor at the SFAB schoolhouse. I don't even know what SFAB stands for. It sounds big time, huh? Competed at the all Army shooting competition. I kind of feel bad about talking about the Army earlier. Yeah, forgive me for that. Texas Armed Security Guard certified. I even teach the MP detachment at Fort Benning how to shoot. This guy is something else. Man, we're going to have some bad boogers. We're going to have some bad boogers on this show on the Prepper channel. So I said, hey, man, if you'll commit to helping me, we'll do it. And he says, I'm down. He says, I'm down, Black Dragon. I'm down. He's down. He's down. He's down. Oh, damn. Somebody told me I was overusing the applause button. It was annoying. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Anyway, hey, man, it's going to be fun. Planter type system connects all collected in electronic handshake, even to drop phones. What are we talking about? Big C? Big C? What are we talking about? Do it. Food shortages are going to. Hey, now Ben Kelly's right. Listen, man, this is a good. Did you guys know that you guys know they've been talking about food shortages. Now, I don't know what that means to America. We've never, depending on how much money you have, because we do have food shortages here. I just say we don't is crazy. But I'm thinking if you don't have 6 weeks of food put aside, you're crazy. I think you should have at least 6 months, but you need to have 6 weeks. You need to not have to go to the store for 6 weeks. And if you can't do that, you're running a little bit behind. SFAB is the Army Security Forces Assistance Brigade. See, my people know everything. Wow. So we got some bad boogers coming. SSW called me yesterday. SSW, I'm going to call you when I get off the phone. SSW was probably calling me to give his support. I'm sure he was. And so that's a couple guys right there. And we have this, one of my subscribers, his wife she had her own radio show forever. She's well known in the prepper world. We're putting the band together. We're putting the band together. Applause. No applause. We're putting the band together. 6 weeks left. 6 weeks still isn't enough. Better be able to grow a garden and process animals, or you'll starve to death anyways. There you go. There you go. Daredevil and your bros. What's the question? What's the question, Daredevil? Did I miss something? I think I look after my bros. I must have missed something. So glad I'm working on a farm now, says Nico Munch. That's going to be very interesting. So we have a lot to talk about. Traveling Brothers Cigars and Traveling Brothers Motorcycle channel. Of course. Traveling Brothers Cigars and Traveling Brothers Motorcycle channel. You guys do go over there, right? And go check out my Club Brothers. Absolutely. Traveling Brothers Cigars and Traveling Brothers Motorcycle channel. Go check my Club Brothers out. So anyway, that's what we hope to see. I'm probably going to go to work on that channel this afternoon. Maybe even do a video or two. Maybe even do a video or two on there and get it on and crunk. I have to say that one of my dear brothers died of COVID who helped me start that channel. He's the big guy that you'll see us on that channel. Myself, Myron, and Bob. And Robert Coleman died about 6 months ago of COVID. And he is so sorely missed. And it's been hard to do that channel with Bob gone. Bob, actually, we worked together for 16 years. He was a senior manager engineer at the firm that I worked for. And we were very close buds. You'll see him you see all three of us in the video. And he died. And his imprint is all over Think Tactical. And he helped me paint my green room, and oh my God. So if we get this channel up and running, it's definitely going to be dedicated to Robert Coleman. One hell of an engineer, one hell of a good guy, man. Good guy. Good guy. Helped me in so many ways. Senior manager at Eris. Sometimes I just go talk to him about how to manage people. Since I was a national president at the time, I would talk to him about how do you manage people? How do you keep people from fighting and acting ugly and things like that? And he just was a resource. He was just a good guy. And so many guys on my job that I was there, so many guys that you wouldn't suspect, like these are just regular cats, man, that knew what I did in my spare time and molded themselves around me to help keep me great. You could never imagine. Guys who were not even in a motorcycle club at all. Like the guy I worked for, Tom Gibson. Worked for that man for eight of my 16 years, something like that. He would always like, yeah, you need to go on, you need to go on vacation. You're doing something with the club. Take whatever time you need. He gave me his trailer. I think he charged me $400 for it. You can't buy that trailer for $400. I don't give a damn what you do. Well, you can't have a national president without a trailer. What the hell do you know about that? They wherever your team comes from, bro, that's what you take. You take wherever God sends you your team from. These guys were engineers. They didn't even have motorcycles. But they tolerated the guy who come riding in with his boots on, wearing his colors and blasting his music through the parking lot. They tolerated that guy. Worked with him. Close buddy. I wrote my book, Prospects Bible. I could not afford editors. I couldn't afford an editor. So Bob Coleman and Bob Schultz and Kristen Chapman, another engineer, all got together to help propel John. They didn't call me Black Dragon. Kristen refused. I'm not calling you that. And so they knew I wanted to write a book. Jim Morgan, another guy, the guy that hired me there, came in and helped me out. Now, something you're probably going to find interesting, all those were white folks. So, and most of them were, I think every one of them was a a Trump Republican. These folks who gave of their lives to me. So you gotta get away from some of the things that divide us. Y'all never. Bob Coleman's such an interesting guy. When the whole thing came up about Barack Obama's pastor, everybody was all mad and blah blah blah. So the pastor had written a book called Black Liberation Theory, and everybody was all mad at that book or whatever. Bob Coleman bought the damn book and read the book. I got to borrow Black Liberation Theory from Bob Coleman. But he wasn't going to dislike something because a bunch of people said something. If he was going to dislike it, he was going to read it for himself. And the reason I know he read it is when I read it behind him, I could go through all of his yellow marks, all of his conclusions, all of his statements. Man, you know, that was an engineer. He was going to know what the hell he was talking about. So these people in your life, they come in your life for a reason. Come in your life for a reason. So when you, and Bob, he wanted me to be great. Everything about him and our relationship was him working to make me be great. And that was Bob Coleman, Bob Schultz, just so many people in this job that I worked over at Eris for 16 years. Daisy and Marshall Leathers and just, I mean, I could just go on naming folks forever. People that took an interest in making sure that I was successful, making sure that, you know, the Prospects Bible was molded by people that don't know a damn thing about motorcycle clubs. So, but they wanted to help me. So, bro, when you see me doing that, and man, Bob wanted me to be so successful, he pushed Think Tactical. He gave me, him and Myron, those two guys that you see, those are the guys I worked with for 16 years. If you go to Think Tactical and you see our videos, those guys pushed and pushed and pushed to watch me be great. So having you folks on, and when they knew when they knew I was doing this and starting this up, and they were right there standing next to me side by side, calling me up, hey, I think you should do this, I think you should do that. There was a team that got me here, folks. It wasn't just John or the guy you call Black Dragon. Okay, that's my hour. So yeah, we're gonna do Think Tactical, and we're gonna have a lot of fun with it. That's my hour. So I want to thank you guys for having me. So that's my 2 cents. I'd love to hear your 2 cents in the comments section below. I'm Black Dragon. Thanks for tuning in. Get skinny. And of course, get my book. Prepare yourself to take the helm as president of your mighty motorcycle club by delving into the pages of Black Dragon's newest book, The President's Bible, Chronicle 1, Principles of Motorcycle Club Leadership. There you will learn to advance your skills in applying the 14 scientific principles of leadership similar to those taught to officers in the United States Naval Service. Available in hardcover, paperback, and ebook. Get yours today on Amazon, Kindle, or order it at your local bookstore. Order your autographed copy from blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club president you can be. Get the book. Okay, here. Let's check this out real quick. I've been talking about my hero soap. I wanted to show you guys. Here's my empty bag of my hero soap. I actually use this stuff. I'm going to do a commercial with me in the shower. You guys will like that, won't you? Won't you guys like seeing me in the shower? I'm going to have a model with me, some sort of maybe 2 or 3 models around me. I don't know if you guys remember the commercials that used to have Joe Namath in them. Great balls of comfort with Noxzema. You remember those commercials? Are you guys old enough for that? Where he had these models around him. He's in the shower and he's got this Noxzema cream. Yeah, so I'm going to do me some, you guys want to see me naked, right? So anyway, this Hero Soap Company, I use this stuff. They sent it to me. I used it. And it's awesome stuff. And what I like about it, and I'll just be kind of cool with this, is that it's manly. It smells good. They got all kinds of soaps. They've got lavender and all these kind of manly smells. Peppermint tea tree, peppermint cool, spearmint. The woods. They have body washes now, which is new for them. They didn't have the body washes when they first contacted me, but they got them now. What I like about these folks is that they give a percentage of their sales back to charities that are focused on helping veterans and first responders. So that's, they say, we want to thank you for helping us support our veterans. So if you, and first responders, so if you buy some of this soap, they're going to send, you can get a subscription. That's the other thing. You can get a soap subscription, like you can get a razor blade subscription. And if you buy their soap, a few things happen. One, you get some soap to wash your ass. They get some money, that part of it they're going to give to veterans and first responders. And if you use the discount code Black Dragon, which is what we're hoping you use, they will give a percentage to us as well, which keeps the show supported. So good on them, good on you, good on us. And of course, you guys know I love these rings. My sister accused me of having demonic rings. How you gonna accuse me? She told me she was terrified of my rings, and she said each ring was more demonic than the one that I would previously put on. Each one was more terrifying than the previous one. And I don't understand how she could say that about my rings. My rings are cool. You got to use some cool rings if you're, these are my rings, man. So if you like rings, like I like rings, biker rings, you can go here to Gothic Rings, gthic.com. Just like with the soap company, if you use your discount code of Black Dragon, you get you a very cool discount, 20% in this case. I like the Medusa ring, man. They got some very cool rings here. They got Masonic rings, So use these folks. They got pewter and all kinds of stuff, silver, actual silver in these rings, and they've got stainless steel rings. Man, their rings are the bomb. I like them. I wear them. So get you some. Get you some, man. Get you some.
You are fake news.
Black Dragon Biker News Network. Biker news you can trust.
Biker news you can trust. Biker news you can trust. Biker news you can trust.